right, we don't come back to the program in what now. The Good Morning from Benin. If you just join us with the reach now for channel 107 for GoTV and 130 for Star Times. Any part of the world where they watch us, I thank you. I pray from Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, any part of the world when you do, even on our live streaming, we thank all of them when they watch. And like I told you just now, the exodus of Nigerian doctors and the implication to health sectors, and also the role of the Commonwealth in issues that have to do with health. All right, we get with us for house a chief consultant, family physician, president, Commonwealth Medical Association, member, executive committee on the World Medical Association, and the only African on that executive committee, chairman, Social Medical Affairs Committee of the World Medical Association, and panel member of the Policy Review Committee of the WWA, World Medical Association, and a former advisor to Social Medical Affairs to the World Medical Association, and the former president, Nigerian Medical Association, past president, chairman, past Edo State branch chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, and many, many, many more. We do with our brother, Dr. Usaho Inabulele. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
You don't do.
You don't do. I'm sporty.
You don't do. Remember the last time we called this program?
Well, I probably now. And you still find me again.
You know, say like I told Ibadin there when you be. Chairman and president of World Medical Association, Nigerian Medical Association.
Yes.
I see, yes, when you're picking, they do well. Every papa, they rejoice. So yes. I believe, say, everybody from Edo State, they very proud of you. And you come a source of inspiration, a kind of rallying point. At the same time, you be one person when we say the youth, a role model when we say the youth, they look up to. So yes, one person read book, many things they happen, and we're very privileged again to get you for this platform. Before we really start, how has the journey been?
Well, the journey now is as you expect, you know. But again, for life, you suppose know what you want. You suppose set your priorities. You suppose get focused. You suppose know what you want to do. So this journey now, that's 14 years journey where I don't date for this lane, you know. And you know what it be now, especially when you come from Nigeria, you know, a lot of challenges and all of that. But you go forget what that challenge is there. You go see where, you know, how you want to achieve your aspiration. You know, so for over 14 years, you don't tell where they engage them for global level, you know. So most times, it will be like, say, this is my welcome from Nigeria. You know, they look Nigeria somehow at that global level. You know, most times, you see now even small African countries, now that they go, you know, Kenya, Uganda, and all those other countries. But when they come to Nigeria, they say, oh, they for that Nigeria self. You know, so, but I just say, look, we not get two heads pass us, we head no better pass our own. You know, as much as possible, all of us are from God. So, importantly, when you put value for table, everybody will know who get value. So, over 14 years, we don't do this journey. You know, they engage them, they contribute, they, you know, and show say we still get what they get for that side. So, at the end of the day, at least after 57 years, for this one, what they call Commonwealth Medical Association, now they say, at least somebody did there, where go feel also lead us, both blacks and whites, you know, for that platform that they call Commonwealth Medical Association. So as God will have it, at the Colombo meeting, they say, okay, Nigeria and the United Kingdom, it be like go vie for this thing. We say, okay, who not get for that side, who will get for this side? We'll put our papers to them. All the Commonwealth nations, they vote on them. So by February, now they write me paper from Commonwealth Secretariat. Say, Nabolele, make it prepare. Now you can be the next, now you will be the next president. So now they take on inaugurate me on that 5th of November, which is the very first time where a Nigerian, you know, pioneer the ship of the Commonwealth Medical Association, and that's now a very big opportunity for all of us. Not be just me, now for the whole of Nigeria, the whole of Africa, and in fact, developing countries. Because, like I tell them, my emphasis during my 3-year presidency. Now, for those countries where never really developed. In as much as I go to engage Britain, New Zealand, Canada, and the other ones, but those countries will never really get there, will never really reach the level where those ones did. My emphasis go there most especially. Otherwise, after 3 years, what I will talk say I do for those countries. So the little what we'll get, we will plow them into those countries, including Nigeria, where I come from, to make sure, say at least when you talk of healthcare system, I mean, we'll still make some little contributions to advance the healthcare system in these various countries. So I want to thank our people for Nigeria. I want to thank our people for Edo State for all their prayers, for all their support, you know, and to say that we will do the best what we can. We're not going to solve everything though, because now continuous process, not be destination, now process. So as I finish my own, I pray, say, make we feel impact seriously on healthcare systems in most parts of the Commonwealth, especially for those countries of Africa who never really reach there.
So how will now intend to engage the presidents of those other countries where you mentioned just most of those African countries?
Well, the first thing that to, you know, first of all, assess them. What they do now is say, I don't set up platform to assess their various countries in terms of their health system performance. So because you need to get something where you carry go meet president. Not we just say you want to go see president fits. Not be so they behave for our own platform. So the first thing that to get what they get objective assessments of the various countries. I want to do my own. May I be say at the top practical, not be theory, not be what you read for book. So with a set of platforms now for the various countries, at least the ones where we say never really do well, then assess them. Then know what to be their problems, their major problems. We'll prioritize them. They will come set up platforms, advocacy platforms and all of that, engagement platforms. Then we'll go say, okay, make we see the leadership of those countries, especially for Africa and some other low and middle income countries. So we need to do that one before we say one go see, not be just to go see president, now I do, now work I did. So all those things now will give us information on what really did happen. And we want to get them from independent, objective sources. Not be the one where some people will just tell us because they want to make, So, because I want to really make impact. We want to make impact during these 3 years, in as much as we don't they do some things before. But this time around, everybody gets so much expectation from us. Say, you don't do so much for Nigeria when you be this and that. Now, you don't get Commonwealth. So I want to really engage them on the basis of reality, on the basis of objective findings, on the basis of truth. So when we don't do all these things, then we'll go begin to engage those countries one after the other. So if we say they not get better leadership in terms of leadership and governance, we will tell them. We will tell them the reality. If we say they not get health human resource, adequately, we will tell them. Because like you know now, in Africa, we get serious challenge in terms of health human resource. That is health workers. Africa, as of today, we constitute about 70% of the global population. But yet, Africa get about 25% of the diseases where they this whole world in terms of the disease body. But you will expect, say, people will get so much of that disease body. Now then, will get so much of the health workers and other things where will help them solve those problems. But I tell you something, Africa only get 3% of the global health workforce. A lot of them, they come out from Africa or other places. So, major challenge now we get. So, we will address some of those things. See how we fit advise governments on what they fit do more to ensure that their health workers, they enough, at least reasonably enough, to address their challenges. Because if you not do that one, you will just a hope against hope, and nothing much will happen. Because now health workers, now really be the major bulwark, for driving healthcare systems. Then if we see a system issue like primary healthcare all day and all of that, well, we don't talk since 1978, 1948, 1978, say, now be the bulwark of the healthcare system, develop and where. If we say that primary healthcare system, not there very good, we will still advise that. So, what I want to do now, objective assessment and performance-based assessments. So, amongst other things.
You talk about health workers, I think, is it not Zimbabwe? I think if I'm not very correct, their doctors don't do on strike for some time. After some time, I think they can't sack them, can't employ other one. I'm sure I'm very correct now. So, in that regard, what will happen for that country and what impact will now make for them?
Now that one why they talk, say it gets some countries where not just there at all in terms of the indices. Interestingly, I say be the head of all the African National Medical Associations. We get what they call Coalition of African National Medical Associations. I don't they hold that position for about 3 years. I mean, they lead them, the whole of Africa. So that matter, you don't take where they my table. And we don't still do the best what we do at the level of Africa to see say sanity remain and come back to that place. Their workers, they're very poorly paid for that Zimbabwe in terms of the health workers. They pay what they pay and are very, if I not even reach 1/8 of Nigeria or 1/4 of Nigeria. So now very poor pay now they get there. The environment not they very good. So the workers there don't they talk, say government can't address this thing. Government can't address it. If I not too long ago, they even can't kidnap one of the leaders of the workers. You know, one of the doctors where they lead them to say how things want to be better. We don't know who kidnapped them, but people they say some agents of states. You know, but we as an organization will say we'll not rely on that one. But what you will know be say, look, this guy when I must rescue him. Fortunately, they rescue him. But the workers can't say, look, despite that, they will still continue with their struggle. And their struggle, they're legitimate. Because unless and until they do some basic things to improve that system, create better working conditions for the Zimbabwean health workers, then review the pay system. Inflation don't chop everything for that place. So how you want to expect to make those workers deliver their best? So now they cause the problem for that Zimbabwe. Like I tell you, now members of our coalition of African National Medical Association, so on a day-to-day basis, we engage them to see whether we feel, we don't make statements, we don't even say we want to visit that place. But again, they still collaborate, get some other supporters to see from governments outside Zimbabwe to see how they want to still assist the government of Zimbabwe.
Before we also go far, Nigeria, where you come from, we get very many intelligent doctors. And I remember that when you be president of Nigeria Medical Association, you tell me for instance this program say even when President Jonathan go Germany, when you know say I remember this well, go Germany. Now Nigerian doctor, what you know will be your friend, you treat am. I'm not so. Let me program talk.
The former president.
Yeah, former president. Yes.
The one where come before good luck.
Yes.
Musa Yaradua.
Yes.
Of blessed memory.
Yes.
Yes, you are correct.
Yes. So the issue is that why be say our Nigerian doctors can't come out like that? They know they won't work for here, but they do well for other countries.
It don't take well they talk this matter. Even last week when we meet for summit, what do they call second national health summit? I tell them, say most of the problems they will get for Nigeria, when you prioritize them, for those who get conscience, you will accept the part of the major challenge we will get now, what do they call poor political commitments at governance levels. Because the solutions don't be there for many, many years, even right from 1946. If you look at all the plans, all the development plans, all the policy initiatives and all of that, the solution just did there. But what did they happen? They say people not get that commitment to implement these matters. And they not even want to share experiences from those who don't better past them for other countries, where do certain things to improve their healthcare system. Look at now, for instance, this issue of workers' migration. We don't say anywhere in the world, workers will always migrate to. Even workers will migrate from America, go other places, from Australia, go other places. But when they look at the proportion and the issues where they make them, they migrate. Globally, you get what they call push and pull factors. You get factors where they push people come out. You get factors where they pull them come their countries. In Nigeria, so many things they push our health workers come out from Nigeria. Primarily, the issue of working conditions. The working condition, when you see somebody where they work for United States, see somebody where they work for Britain, see somebody where they work for South Africa, and you don't compare, do the same work where they do for Nigeria. I mean, with internet and everything, globalization and everything, you go begin to think, say, people like say, not be the same word we do, you know, and yet, when you don't complain, people like people don't listen to you. The tendency be say, your mind will begin to prick you, say, people like say, my tomorrow did that side. And they go begin to migrate. You get other factors also, the issue of pay, the issue of compensation, the issue of competitive wages. At least if you feel meet to some extent, waiting some other economy, because the world is a global village now. If I know, say, look, I have 20 years, 30 years to live in this world, I don't calculate, say, look, at the point of retirement, this is not what I suppose to do with my life or what I suppose to acquire. So I want to use that 30 years very well. And if I say, look, another person for the other country, they earn 8 times my salary or 10 times my salary. The tendency be say, I would think, say, look, that place, at least I still work. I still get energy. I go want migrate. Another thing where they happen now be say, look, it be like say, even the security issues don't get as it be. Everybody, they are affected security-wise. We not say other countries even better in terms of security, but if you they do your own normally, JJ for your own country, you not be anybody where they involve in some other things. I mean, tendency be say, you're supposed to get some level of protection. The state, they protect you. What they call protection of welfare and security of the individuals. Nigeria now, nobody they safe again. even if you be professor, you be medical doctor, you be anybody feel they kidnapped. Everybody feel they, you know, so many security challenges. So when you see that one, you know, they feel sleep with your 2 eyes closed. And these are people who are supposed they do real work in terms of research, in terms of clinical care and all of that. How you go they consult? You they think of, oh, may they not come kidnap me today, may they not come do this one today. So how we feel to address some of these security challenges to make sure say people get some semblance of sanity, even their workplaces. Today, now even hospitals not they safe. If I one of the things where I want, you know, push during my presidency, which are they call Safe Hospital Initiative. Interestingly, at the last world meeting in Georgia, I present one global paper on violence and health. Fortunately, they are proven, all the countries welcome, they are proven because they send around the whole world, they make inputs. Then when we come to Georgia, they can't approve them. Now, me develop that paper. So I want to take that safe hospital initiative, then see whether we will implement them across most countries for Commonwealth. At least, now my time be this. So now me develop them. So maybe I go use that opportunity to implement them to make sure say there's some level of safety. Because part of what they even drive people come out, now the violence for health workplace. You just can't work today because people don't understand how the health system be. They just bring all their problems put for your head without understanding what you they will go through and all of that. What you don't do and all of that. You do it once, do it a second time, do it a third time. You will feel say, people like say this workplace not need you here. They know they appreciate you. You come out. Another thing where I don't see again be say, because our leaders, they always travel abroad, go they procure healthcare services from doctors who even train from Nigeria.
Doctors will train for Nigeria.
We train for Nigeria. So the tendency for you.
Now I repeat them.
Yes.
Our leaders, they go to obtain health care.
Yes.
From doctors.
Yes.
We train from Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Now the year from the number one doctor of the Commonwealth. So that if we they talk, you know, be like say, now we they talk them. That our leaders they go take health care from doctors we train for Nigeria. You see the booby where they go ahead, my brother. Would they hear you?
In America, in UK, now what would they see? In fact, in America is even very obvious. A lot of even the head of the American doctors last week even still tell us, say most of our people where they come, our leaders when they come to America and then they come see. So when I see that one, the tendency be say, okay, if I say they don't appreciate me for Nigeria here, because we expect say any leader we don't build health facility, for instance, build hospital, we'll still get that conscience to use them. Because if you say the place is good, but if you know they use them, you know they patronize the people where they deliver care there, they go outside. Then me, I will still say, okay, maybe since I want to treat my president or my governor, make I say go there, and maybe they call they meet me there. So you see they push people, they travel. The issue of sense of worth and value, the esteem, you know, the recognition of the professional worth of these individuals. They know they recognize them again. It be like say we just train for training sake. People know they even, okay, what I train for now if I don't fit treat my president, if I don't fit treat my governor. One even tell me one time, say, look, you don't go allow any doctor touch his skin. This is not governor, they tell me something.
This Nigerian doctor.
Nigerian governor, they tell me. Say, don't go allow any Nigerian doctor touch his skin. If I want even tell me, say, look, one other big person tell me, say, you know, say, look, even if anything happens to them now, you go just take the next available plane, just travel to UK, say all the doctors there UK. Now I say, not be so. Not be so. I can't sit down, explain to them. I say even for UK there, you just say everything there 100%. So I can't explain to them. Unfortunately for them, within 2 weeks, he collapsed our presence. When they collapse our presence, now we can't rescue them now. So when they wake up, I thought that the Nigerian doctors now rescue you. Since that day, it's not baptism for him. He's been one of the strong advocates of healthcare systems in Nigeria today. Now, big person for this country, now they tell you so. So I think somehow that poor orientation, poor understanding, poor attitude and all of that, we need to change all of that. Because you not feel they build hospital here, you travel abroad, go to receive health care. It don't make sense. The day when we say our leaders, they line up for hospital, they stand for queue like they do abroad. Then you know say we don't arrive. The other day I did India, because India are part of the Commonwealth. We just did one hospital like that. I just they say our big men, just they stand for line. What did they want to check up? That will not make sense now. So things day Nigeria here, but like I said, I be Commonwealth too, and not just be Nigeria, but Nigeria my own. And the question where you ask,
yes,
because at my level,
no,
now, all the
no, at this level, you talk to the world now.
So, yes,
the whole world is watching you as the president of the Commonwealth.
Yes,
and you address the issue we get to do with the Commonwealth and Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And so it's good make them also they hear from you say, see na the kind things wey we say you dey see for them.
Absolutely.
India na part of Commonwealth.
Absolutely.
And you dey tell us wetin we dey see for India and our leaders when they go there and our people wey dey treat them.
Yeah.
Before we continue, we dey with the president of the Commonwealth Medical Association, Dr. Sahar Nabulele. One of us is from Edo State here, but now na Commonwealth doctor. Because wetin they tell us be say, because they know they recognize them for home, all of them begin dey push to the world. So if you want to engage them, you just WhatsApp up for 08038726759. The WhatsApp number again is 08038726759. Make you ask her one question, or make you, if you dey watch now from any part of the world, Lagos, Abuja, just engage and ask her 1 or 2 questions, because at the level of Commonwealth, now wetin they see and the experience, now they share with us. So yes, we'll come up from there.
Okay.
Before we go back to what we dey talk, you also dey for social medical, say something committee.
Yes,
for
medical affairs.
Yes, for World Medical Association.
Yes.
At that level, what do they do? What will be their input to the health sector?
Well, at that level, in fact, the Social Medical Affairs Committee now one of the most profound committees for the World Medical Association. Now 3 committees they get for the World Medical Association. Because at that level, they distill everything where they come from all the countries. So they know they form too many committees. So now only 3 committees they there. The first one we get medical ethics, where they develop things, where they call, one I know before as Hippocratic oath, yes, and they develop medical ethics, and they develop them. But not a physician's pledge, they call it now, not Hippocratic oath anymore. Physician's pledge. Because we amend them for Chicago, 2017. Then you get the other committee, finance and planning. Then the third one, now Social Medical Affairs Committee. That one, they attend to all medical and non-ethical issues. Because I tell you, say medical ethics, they handle ethics. So anything medical and social, now that committee they handle them. The issue of universal health coverage, now the committee now they develop policies on all of that. And actually, the WMA, the World Medical Association, I never see body where get policies reach that body. They get policies plenty. That if you want any solution for anything, just inform them. They go bring and come out. Say even for 1950, we don't address this matter before. Even for 1946, we don't address this matter. But people not they feel explore because they not get information. So the waiting what they do now to even make information available as much as we still they develop policies, here and there. So like for instance, the whole world they talk about universal health coverage now. We don't do a lot on how countries across the world will feel improve access to care, because universal health coverage now say make everybody everywhere get access to care without indulging in what they call undue financial risk, being exposed to undue financial risk. In other words, because you understand, say poverty there everywhere, especially for Africa, you don't want to make people in the process of say that they procure healthcare services, may they still go they put more holes into their pockets. Go they indulge in what they call catastrophic health expenditure. They will go they sell clothes, go they sell books, go they sell everything, sell their house just because they want to procure healthcare services. Or say their person where they admission, they not feel pay for it. So universal health coverage now to see how everybody feel access care without being put onto into undue financial risk. So and that one means say every system supposed to develop its own unique healthcare system or unique financing healthcare system where it will protect the poor, protect the vulnerable, without also undermining those where they consider that they rich. In other words, what they call equitable healthcare, accessible, affordable, and qualitative healthcare. Because the first say somebody just open hospital, not me say na better healthcare services that they do there. So all the issues where you go feel drive quality must stay there, because my people were there for village suppose get the same healthcare standards where my people for town they get. So that
is the policy.
Of course, that's what healthcare is supposed to be.
That people in the village supposed to get same healthcare.
Of course, they are not inferior. That's not the policy what they push with that one. Because everybody they equal. Everybody get universal health rights. Everybody right. The world body don't acknowledge. Say, look, everybody get what they call fundamental health rights. So universal health coverage. Now, how to develop, frameworks, how to develop plans, how to develop elements, those various elements where will drive improve access to healthcare. And all over the world, people they work on this thing. The United Nations don't talk. Say, look, by 2030 they get their own targets. So everybody for the world now they talk about that. Some countries are almost already reachable, but again, like you would expect, most countries for low income and middle income countries, including developing countries of Africa, they never reach there, including Nigeria. Nigeria never really do much to improve access to care. So, but fortunately, it be like say things will begin to change soon because of the law where we fight for, where Jonathan approved in 2014, what they call National Health Act, which can make it possible to improve the funding and of course to give them enough money, I mean some amount of money where they will fit buy more services to the people where they rural communities, primary care centers and all of that, so that more people will get access to care without being unduly burdened financially. So what we talk, we say every system supposed put on ground its own unique financing mechanism. Remember I say for our country, the National Health Insurance Scheme, now they put on ground since 1999. That one don't take ground, even though they launched them June 6, 2005. But so far, it be like say nothing much not happened there. So we go to take countries like that, when no get them, say implement that provision. Do that one. If you don't get law, where first of all talk say health rights they fundamental, we will tell them say, I beg, make una develop una legal framework. Put law first to respect the rights of the people to access health care. If we say they not get better governance, we'll go tell them, because all these things they impact on universal health coverage. Because if you don't get a political commitment to develop healthcare workers, to produce healthcare workers, and to make sure say you retain them for your country, then you're not going to get people who go deliver healthcare services. So you're not going to get access. People not going to get access because health workers not there. If you not get better infrastructure, all right, people not going to procure healthcare services. Because that's not what they call geographic access. So if you not get them, people not going to procure healthcare services. So all those ingredients, now they build into universal health coverage to make sure say everybody get affordable, accessible, equitable healthcare services.
Okay, before we continue, somebody don't send a WhatsApp message. He said, Dr. Sahan, sir, I just want to say kudos. I've been following you right from NME Edo State. I want to see whether all love. Sir, please, sir, after your 3 years, come and be our Minister of Health. This is from Benin. All right. All right, like I talk, you reach out because it's a privilege for us to get the president of the Commonwealth Medical Association for inside the program today. And we're going to look at issues looking at the level of the World Medical Association. The third world country like Nigeria and some other countries never really assess it. You know, one of you take the president of those countries that accept most of this, because when you see our leaders, they go to queue for people like India and all those countries. You get us a bit. How not they engage those people?
Well, the World Medical Association is made up of all physicians in the world. Now they're the topmost organization for physicians all over the world, and they operate in different ways. One effective way they operate now through the national medical associations. So when they develop policy, they will expect, say, all the national medical associations will engage their governments, all right, to, of course, push these policies through. So they're not going to just come from Geneva, say, oh, maybe except say it is really bad where, before they go come out Geneva, say they want to engage the Nigerian government or Indian government or Cuban government, or American, United States government, American government and all of that, all right? So they're not going to just free work out from Geneva. So now you go to give the report, say, this is not what they happen, this is not progress report and all of that, this is not where we want to make Unacon intervene. Otherwise, the policy is there. So now to impress them on the national medical associations, say, look, we don't empower una, we don't build on our capacity, we don't give on our knowledge, to engage on our government, our country level, to promote these policy initiatives, and of course ensure, say, they implement them. So now, so WMA, mostly they work. They engage United Nations, for instance. All United Nations meetings, they always there. Even Commonwealth Medical Association, we go see they there. Because now 2 faces now I go can't get now. One for WMA, one for Commonwealth. But I go feel manage them well. You know, because everyone gets their own constitution and all of that. So they go engage United Nations at the highest level. Because once those ones talk, the whole world go listen. So when they do and finish, then they go pass them down to the various countries and through their instruments, like I talked, national medical associations in the case of WMA, to go implement them. Like this violence in health now, where I developed, where they passed for Georgia, we expect, say, as they don't pass them, all the countries now will begin to look that policy initiative to see how they want to implement them for their whole healthcare system. Because we don't prove, say, the thing they're very rewarding, you know, at least to reduce violence in the health workplace. So now, so WMA they function. And the WMA, don't they there since 1947. Since 1947. So, and as God will have it, I am also the first Nigerian to ever be elected as a committee chair the first African to be, the first Nigerian to be in the executive of the WMA since 1947. So you go ask questions, say, what will they do all these years? Now, commitments, focus, value contribution and all of that. We need to continue to do that. Not be just say, will they go those places, just go to show our face. No. White man don't want to see your face. They want to see what you will get for food put on the table, what you will get for your brain. So, now so what they do and since, and we thank God, say, with all this one now, because what we don't create now, to create some international recognition. To tell them, say, at least we still get people for this side. Where we not still they engage. Like now, the last meeting for Georgia, as they call committee chairman now, they still come in, I can't chair my own committee. You go see African there, you go see black man there. Everybody happy because the whole world they move as one. But when they show your presence, they show commitment, they get value and all of that.
Come like say, we know they exist at all.
And they go say put you for one side, say, okay, people like saying just to listen, now this one's come for. No. We must go there, they make our point, so that we will present a picture of our countries and of our regions within that global conversation. Now, so they'll respect you.
Okay. You get this at the CC for some countries, sicknesses like cancer, will it be this or that one with the doom man, or when we see blessed, whether prostrate a land bet, some kind of sicknesses like that. Other countries, government now they take care of them. I don't ask this question. If, like when you talk to people with the village, they get the right of care with place with the city. If a woman from Utekon or maybe all those old villages get cancer, and na poor woman, how you want to do them? You don't know at that level, now get any policy when we say you go cover these people so that at the end of the day, government go feed they have a way of trying to affect them, make them get a small life.
Yes. It gets several things where government is supposed to do to ensure say things like that, they fit take care of her. The first thing they say, it's not even good make they talk say cancer everywhere. What if you use address issues of cancer or disease, very serious disease conditions like that? Now what do they call health promotion, health education and promotion.
Okay.
If you prevent most of those things at the basic levels, you're not going to see them here and there. So it should say either people not there aware in terms of their health-seeking behavior or their health, they don't get enough health information and all of that to act appropriately. Now they make those things when they don't reach one stage before they come present themselves for hospital, say they get cancer. If you feel educate people, they get information and all of that. They know what to do at every point in time. Somehow, the incidence of those disease conditions go still reduce more. But when it don't happen, what next? And that is now where the system supposed to come in. Because even for South Africa here, if you get any condition, even if you need brain surgery, just walk into the hospital, go do one for you. They're not going to ask you for one kobo.
You don't mean it?
Of course. They're not going to ask you for one kobo because they get insurance system on ground. So, our insurance system for Nigeria, what is the financial pool? In other words, what is the level of financial support for that system?
So when you be president of NME, you tell government about this kind of thing?
You know how many times we talk? You remember, say, I will tell the president then, President Goodluck Jonathan, say, even establish what they call Health and Hospital Development Intervention Fund to fund issues like this. Because we see, say, even for the National Health Insurance Scheme, no such provision there. And that scheme is supposed to provide for this kind of cases. That because people don't make contributions, everybody don't put resources together to ensure, say, anybody will get any problem, you will feel attend to that. We tell them, say, look, this kind of cases, build them into the teaching because the incidents don't high. Not be waiting if you relegate again. And people not feel afford the care, the cost of cancer treatment. So you must necessarily try to mitigate the issue, the challenges or the circumstances whether they face. And now to provide for support services for people like this into the National Health Insurance Scheme. But recently, never to tell, they constantly include chemotherapy, drugs, and all of that. Say if you get cancer, the drugs, they go still subsidize and all of that. But that was not there enough. Because both the diagnosis, the treatment, we're supposed to reach level where people feel receive them free of charge. Because in a very serious condition, nobody feel undertaken on their own. So government must work towards ensuring, say, conditions like that, chronic conditions, because the whole world now what they call chronic morbidities. Now they challenge the whole world, non-communicable diseases and all of that, and cancer is one of them. So now the global reality. So we must brace up to that global reality and see how we will fit prevent And then, of course, for those who don't develop, I will help them take care of their condition. Otherwise, most of our people will die of cancer. I know good. So now to expand the financial pool for the health insurance scheme and to expand the service, the available services where, of course, they provide for people who subscribe to that scheme. So that things like cancer diagnosis, treatment, and all of that will be inside. So that if you get cancer, fine, you go. If not the one where they cure, you go cure. If not the one where they will use chemotherapy or palliation or palliative medicine, palliative care, you use them.
Oh no, pneumatozima, pneumatozima. Okay, well, somebody just said before we come out here, somebody sent this text message. Say, why is it that when a patient goes to any hospital in Nigeria, they have to charge the patient before treating them? This is when they come from Frank or SAS. Another one say, congrats to you, Dr. Nabulele. You are a great motivation to our youth. At least you have proved that education is not a scam, and popularly opined by the present-day youth, Dr. Mike Ibome. This is a call that come from Uniben. Yes, okay, now the other comments when we say you give that. You see that so many people
now we'll consider do what they do.
So many people they say you be source of kind of encouragement to the youth and of course a role model for the kind way so that to say book the P where we're at that world level, so you don't engage the world bodies in all these kind of things. So as we begin to wrap up the program, what will be the mission statement we see you go drop for our youth and the government of Nigeria?
Well, for the youth, make I tell them say, as much as say we recognize say problem in society, may they not allow their problem overwhelm them. Make them develop their focus very well. May they set priorities for themselves. May they examine themselves every day to ask themselves how they meet their targets. May they not allow the challenges for society to undermine them. And if they see people, they do bad things, may they not say because society now they accept those bad things, they go follow those bad things. Because today for Nigeria, we get the issue of poor role modeling. All right? People were even no criminals. Now I be like say, will they accept these days? So youth must change the narrative. They must tell themselves that that not be the way to success. So as much as say they see people, even they say it don't become what they call group societal norm, may they work to change that norm. Because globally, people know they accept vices like that. So they must develop their own focus. They must, of course, set their targets. They must develop their priorities in life. And they must do everything possible, even empowering themselves to ensure that they meet their life targets. Not continue to wait for government. Because if I had waited for government, for instance, I would not feel reach where I reach now. Because everything had to do with personal sacrifices. And of course, praying to God for health, and of course, life. Because if you don't get the grace of life, you don't feel do many things. So may they not wait for government. May they examine their own circumstances and ask themselves what they will do for themselves and do for society. Because ultimately, even when we succeed, we must make sure we will not forget society. To build more advocates of change, to build more advocates of societal development, and of course, get people that will be more selflessly committed, all right, to advancing our system. Not be those where they look at their pockets, look at their stomach only. Those ones know they make system grow. Therefore, the government, I will employ the government, especially the current government at the federal level. May they do everything possible to make sure they prioritize healthcare, education, and other human capital development, platforms. So that when people are empowered, then you do less of, you have less problem in the society. So may they prioritize healthcare because health is wealth, health is security, health is prosperity, and without health, you cannot even go for your other life endeavors. So they must put health they will give health top priority, both in terms of financial commitment, political commitment, and even in terms of advancing universal health coverage in our country. At the state level, I also encourage my state government, and I want to commend them because you get what they do recently, where they launched the social health insurance scheme. Very fundamental, very, very lovely. And I expect, they will sustain that commitment towards addressing a healthcare system in Edo State. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. They have taken a fundamental step, and I expect that subsequent developments, we talk about consolidating on the gains and improving further. And I want to use the opportunity to congratulate the newly sworn-in Commissioner for Health, Dr. Patrick Okundia. I know saying I'm a good man, but make them support him. make government and the people support them to make sure say it change the narrative in terms of our healthcare dispensation in Edo State.
Well, we salute you, journalists. At this level, we must appreciate your wife for this kind of support, because for you to reach we appreciate your wife because you get children.
Yes.
And for her to be a bridge, rather a kind of somebody who may say back you for you to reach this. And also your parents, you know, why would they call a role model? It's because it will say your parents not give you this kind of platform, not give you this early education in time. Maybe if you not reach where you did today. Many people they intelligent when we say not going to encourage them, but your parents encourage you, and you too you encourage yourself. We also appreciate your parents, your papa, me so recipe, then your mama too. We also thank them, appreciate them too for say they give you, and every member of your family, because they give you all the encouragement to grow. And we must say congratulations, and we know say you represent Edo State and you represent the Nigerian youth, and at the world level, we believe say one day we're not surprised say you could be president of the World Medical Association one day. Well, yes, now dream when we say all of us they believe say it will come to pass. And at the same time, that my brother also to say he won't make you be Minister of Health. Yes, one day too, because right now you don't pass to be Commissioner for Health for a state. I mean, so yes, I don't have Commissioner for Health for a state now. So we present one day you got a Minister of Health and present. Congratulations, my brother, Dr.
Thank you very much.
And
I commend on here well for
the entire University of Benin Teaching Hospital, because now them, now they for comfort. All right, when I don't hear from the president of the World Commonwealth Medical Association, Dr. Science Apulele, and I don't talk so many things that get to do with more knowledge. And one thing when we say talk, when we say it is very striking. Many things when we talk, but when I hear we say, for South Africa, all these sicknesses like cancer, some other, you don't walk into hospital, either brain surgery, they will just treat you, you just go cough-free, make you know how we be, and all those kind of things that it's time for. When we take break, the program Good Man from Benin, we'll come back.